Did you ever play dominoes as a kid? Did you love to set them all up and then watch them just topple down? I did. I used to love dominoes, and the only downside was I never seemed to have enough of them. Pushover is a game about dominoes. Your character, G.I. Ant, get it, has a debt to pay to Captain Rat. So he's going to go through different areas knocking over yellow dominoes in the correct order, of course. This isn't a game that would win any awards for graphics or music. Little G.I. Ant does have a couple of cute little animations, but it's all very basic on the presentation side of things. This is a puzzle game though, and puzzle games live or die on how clever they are. And Pushover is surprisingly clever. At first I was a bit baffled and uninterested. To play this game effectively, you have to learn what all the different dominoes do, but once you've got the hang of their different responses, you can start playing around with the field, using G.I. Ant to move tiles around until you can push just one and knock the entire lot down. It's quite satisfying when you get it right. After the first few levels, I became strangely addicted to this little game. Some of the levels gave me a bit of a brain strain, but like the best puzzle games, there's a real sense of accomplishment and cleverness when you figure a level out. There's 100 levels in the game, and I'm sorry to say I didn't get to play all of them, but I did get almost halfway through, and I've added it to my list of come back to later games. It's a no-frills production, but the puzzles are top stuff, so I'll say it stands the test of time. After a couple of rather good Mega Drive games, Mickey Mouse found his way onto the Super Nintendo in The Magical Quest by Capcom. Knowing that it's a Capcom game, it's not hard to see some of the obvious Mega Man influences. Mickey gains new weapons and powers as he goes and can switch between them at will, just like the Blue Bomber. When he's a magician, he also gets a charge shot that's very similar to Mega Man's Mega Buster. The story is pointless and kinda dumb, but it fits the purpose. Pluto runs away and gets kidnapped by Emperor Pete, so it's a rescue mission. Original. Oh well, at least it wasn't Minnie who was kidnapped. Mickey has to go through a number of the usual worlds: Treetop Land, Forest Land, Fire Land, Mountain Land, and Snow Land before the showdown at Pete's castle. Back in the day, the Magical Quest got a bit of a reputation for being too easy. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. There are some levels in here that I found moderately challenging. Hardly Mega Man or Diddy Kong challenging, but not what I'd call particularly easy. The thing about this game is, it's short. There's an ice world towards the end of the game, and I'm amazed that they bothered to put it in at all. It's really only 2 big screens and a boss. Then the entire world is done. Mickey controls well, and as you can see, it's a wonderful looking game. Although it's short, it sure is sweet. I'd say it stands the test of time still. The question everyone would want to know though, which console got the better Mickey Mouse game, the Mega Drive or the Super Nintendo? Ooh, that's a tough question to answer. The Illusion games and the Magical Quest are both great fun in their own right. I'd say they're equally good, but of course it's best if you don't have to choose. Just play them all. I'm aware that there's 3 Streets of Rage games for the Mega Drive, but in the interest of time I figured I only needed to look at one of them, and the second game seems to be the most popular, so here it is. Did anyone else get the Welcome Back package on their PS3s recently? Streets of Rage 2 was one of the games you could download for free, which was pretty cool. In all honesty, I feel like every comment I could give about this game I've already said before. I mean, let's be honest here, Streets of Rage is Final Fight, with slightly different characters. Apparently Capcom only wanted its franchise to be released on the Super Nintendo, so Sega went ahead and made an absolute unashamed clone, and here it is. The baddie is called Mr. X. Wait a minute. I'm sure I've seen him somewhere before. Oh, and there he is, Mr. X. How about that? The graphics are actually really nice for a Mega Drive game. It looks great, and the music is funky. There's more of a variety in the locations that your characters travel to than there was in Final Fight, but just like Final Fight, it becomes really repetitive really quickly. One thing Streets of Rage has that Final Fight didn't is a much needed 2-player mode. Playing this type of game with a friend is always much more fun than playing on your own, but the bottom line is, It's mindless and repetitive, just like the game it's trying to mimic. Today's gamers must look at this and wonder what we were thinking. So yeah, mindless fun, but not a classic.
Oh wow, this is just like watching the movie. Totally awesome!
At least that's what I'd be saying if it was April of 1993. In fact, I think I did say that. Never had a video game been so faithful to its source material in the way of presentation, especially the music. When it was first released, the music in this game was incredible. Then you begin to play the game and you realise, wait a minute. Luke never battled the Sarlacc pit monster in the first movie, nor did he have to scale the Jawa's giant transport. You think to yourself, they're taking some license, which is okay. But you know, in the movie it was never explained that banthas had dynamite in their stomachs. First things first though. There we go. This is a difficult game. A really difficult game. So for me, it's easy mode or go home. Even on easy mode, this game can be really frustratingly difficult. The enemies are easier to beat, certainly, but that doesn't save you from accidentally missing a single jump and falling all the way back down to the start of the level again. There's also a couple of tricky bosses that you need to work out a strategy for, but yeah, easy mode is hard enough for me. After the first few levels you get a choice of characters. You can be Chewie or you can be Han, but seriously, why wouldn't you want to be Luke? He gets a lightsaber. A lightsaber. All Han and Chewie can do is shoot with their guns.
So uncivilized.
There's still a moderate amount of geeky Star Wars enjoyment to be found here, but time hasn't been too kind to this game. It's okay, but the moments of frustration pretty much come down to poor level design instead of the player's lack of skill. The Force was once strong with this one, but over time it's been weakened somewhat. Next week, it's only 2 games. Oh, hooray. Let's see how they fare. See you next time. Peace.